Alright, so, hello everyone, and welcome to World of Tanks, patch 9.7. Introducing new French tanks and a new map, and that's about it. Various cosmetic changes, of course, some changes to artillery, certainly, some possible maps as well. But anyway, right now, review time of this tank. The Somua, or as I say for some reason, the Somua S35. And it is of course already in the game in the German version of the Panzer S35 captured version. But for the moment we're going to concentrate on the actual, well, now in the game, actual French version of the Somua S35. So we'll go through the hit points and we'll compare it mainly to the Panzer S35 because they are supposed to be the same tank. In fact, the German version is supposed to be that, but slightly better than stock, but yet not as good as fully upgraded. So 350 hit points for the Somua S35. The Panzer S35 has 260, so it has 10 more. So it's sort of alright then. Seems legit. 20.11 tons for the actual French Somua. 19.5 for the German one, and this is of course fully upgraded, and I fitted a toolbox and improved vents. So okay, the Somua has 10 less health, weighs more, 230 engine power with the, well, I've literally just bought the just managed to research and buy the top engine, tier 5 engine, on this tier 3 tank. That has 230 engine power. 220 for the Panzer S35, so the Panzer S35 has got slightly worse engine, but it is slightly lighter, so you know they may balance themselves out. So yes, the Somua has just got the edge on the Panzer S35. It does go considerably faster, with a 45 km an hour top speed on the Somua, compared to the 37 of the Panzer S35, and the Panzer S35, you know, goes pretty quick for, you know, French heavily armoured tank. The actual French Somua does have worse traverse speed, 38 compared to 40 for the Panzer S35. So at the moment the Panzer S35 is running away from it mostly. Now, hull armour. 47 for the front, 40 for the sides, and 35 for the rear of the actual Somua. 36, 35, 25 for the hull armour, which is strange when you think about it, because they are supposed to be the same chassis, but for some reason the Somua S35 has got better hull armour than the Panzer S35. However, the turret is where it sort of goes weird, because 40 for the front, 40 for the sides, and 60 for the rear of your turret on the Somua. So if enemy tanks are shooting at you, turn your turret around, then you'll have 60mm of armor compared to 40. The Panzer S35, however, has better front armor with 56 compared to the 40, which is 16mm more. 46, so 6 more at the side, and 46 at the rear, so it's considerably less armored. But that turret is the stock turret for the Somua. They look exactly the same. I can't show you because I've sold it to gain that currency back. Anyway, so yeah, the hull of the Somua S35 stronger than the premium, but worse turret armor than the premium. So it's sort of alright. Weird how you've done that, Wargaming. Now the guns, however. Panzer S35 has a tier 2 gun. There it is. Gun 4.7cm SA 35L34. And then here's the actual Somua's gun, the top gun on the Somua. They're both 47mm. The Panzer S35 does have a better rate of fire with 27.63 rounds per minute. Worse penetration, however. 55 compared to the 66, the Somua. Does 3 less HP damage for the Panzer S35. 52 compared to 55. It's slightly less accurate with 0.39 for the Panzer S35, 0.38 for the Somua. However, look at that aiming time though for the Panzer S35, 1.1. That is blisteringly fast. compared to the 4.7 of the Somya, and they both weigh the same, which is alright. Strange about that, but this gun is the same for the B1. So if you've gone through the B1, you'll already have all the guns unlocked for the not the Panzer S35, but for the Somya S35. So yes, the Somya has better penetration and shell damage than the Panzer S35. However, it has a lower rate of fire, longer aiming time, but slightly more accurate. Make of that what you will. So without 100% crew, it's 3.12 actual gun reload time compared to just about 2 seconds for the Panzer S35 with 100% crew. Turret traverse is 1 degrees better for the Somya, with 41 for the Panzer S35, 42 for the Somya. And then view range 330 and 330, so they're the same. They're both tier 3s. I haven't managed to research the top radio, but look at that, 7,100 for the top radio. That has a 710 signal range compared to the 525 for the Panzer S35. So, also you can't really tell much. They are exactly the same. Panzer S35 sits slightly further forwards in the garage, however. I don't know why. Because they are going to be exactly the same length, they're both going to have exactly the same outline. The only difference is, of course, going to be that turret, that gun, and that's it. Because look at this turret. This turret looks weird, doesn't it? Compared to what you've seen on the Panzer S35, it just looks much weirder. So yes, as you can see, I've pretty much researched everything. Just before literally the last game I played, tier 4 game in the Panzer S35, not the Panzer, in the Somya S35, managed to get me the top engine, the Somya V8 version définitive. Oi, my French, it is failing me, failing moi. So yeah, here's the research tree. Obviously, want to fit that new gun. Of course, because you will have that unlocked if you go through the B1. You may have it already researched on the... no, you don't. So yeah, if you haven't unlocked it on the B1, then yep, you'll have to research it here. But if you do, stick that on. You have enough spare on your Somya's tracks. You won't have any of the engines or any of the radios, but you will have that gun and that gun if you went through the B1. So first thing first, definitely want to research those tracks, then get the new turret, fit the new gun, and then go through the engines. That's what I did. However, the 190 for the stock Somya is not that bad, but it's still, you're going to feel it being slow. So yeah, go through the tracks, maybe if you want to get the engines, but you really need that gun if you want to do damage to tier 4s and tier 5s. So yeah, now, equipment fit. I haven't actually got any equipment to put on here, because as you can see I'm pretty tight on credits, because I just bought, let me do that show all, because I just bought a gun rammer for the Firefly. Currently trying to get the new turret for the Firefly, actually. So you'll have all that unlocked for the Firefly. I think you already have this unlocked for the Firefly as well. Yep, you'll have all the engines and these 3 guns. But yeah. So anyway, this is my Firefly. Hey, how's it going? It's got the 76 in there. Not a bad gun. But yes, I don't have that many credits because I just bought the gun rammer for the Firefly. Also, I just bought the Somya as well, so I'm sort of tight on credits. Wow, I have so many tanks. I'm going the wrong way. But, scroll through. There you go, Somya. But anyway, what was I saying? Equipment fit, yes. So, cabinet. Possibly. Not too sure why you'd want to... Actually, no, don't go for the cabinet. What was I thinking? No, don't go for the cabinet. Useless. Improve vents possibly, get that reload time down for your gun, also your traverse speed and all that stuff. Wet ammo rack, possibly if your ammo rack keeps getting damaged. Enhanced leaf spring suspension, maybe. You never know. You may want to keep your tracks running for as long as possible and not get stopped. Yeah, that's a viable option. Medium spore liner, possibly. You have good armor for tier 3, certainly. Not gonna. I was about to click on the Grob Tractor, and I don't know why. Because the Grob Tractor, as you all know, has only got 15mm of armor at the most. 14, sorry. 15 if you angle it about that much, and people aim for there. Yeah, I don't know why I was going to click on the Grob Tractor. But 47mm of hull armor, yeah, that's very good. So yeah, if you want to, you will definitely benefit from a medium spore liner. Go turn it like that. So yes, possibly. Binocular telescope, yeah, probably go for coated optics if you really want to increase your view range. Don't bother sitting stationary in your Somya. Enhanced gun main drive, maybe 1.7 seconds isn't that bad, but tier 3, this is a howitzer. Don't know why I'm looking at the Grob Tractor again. What's this? 1.9 seconds. Wow. Okay. 2.3 seconds. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So 1.7 seconds aiming time is not that bad. Well, it's pretty good, but you know, every little helps. Get all those shots on target, because you are going to go up against tier 5s with this gun. So if you do want to do some damage and aim for weak spots, then yeah, go for the gun main drive. Toolbox, I always think toolbox is a good idea if you can't think of anything else to put on it. You can't get a gun rammer because it's anything below like 50mm. I think you can't get gun rammer for. You can't get gun rammer for this because this is a howitzer. Yes, what's this thing? Because XVM is updated, it has a whole load of good stuff on it. Wow, okay, it tells you the average DPM. Yes! I always wanted to know what the DPM of stuff is. The elevation arc. Look, also, by the way, I want to show everyone the elevation arc of this Grob Tractor. -12 to +60. It is massively good. The gun can point up about that much. It's very good. I've always just wanted to show that, and I know it's very, very good, but just look at that. -12 and +60 elevation arc is very good. That's what makes the Grob Tractor great, because you can be sitting underneath a hill, somebody will be up there just going, he can't hit me. Goes over the edge and then you're just like, hey, bang, oh no, I've just shot you. Oh, what a shame. Anyway, yes, what else is this stuff? It tells you the terrain resistance, top speed, specific power. There you go. 11.44 HP per ton, horsepower per ton. 11.28, so it's got slightly better power to weight ratio than the Panzer S35. Does it do 1.4? Yeah, it has a lower DPM than the Panzer S35 because of that reload time. But it will get more penetrations in that time though. So anyway, finished with equipment fit, yes. Also, you can choose between 3 ammunition types, AP, APCR and HE, which is standard pretty much for everything. You don't carry as much ammunition as the Panzer S35 though. You only carry 69 shots, which is still pretty good, and 69, which is still a pretty good ammo load, 69 shots, compared to the 112 of Panzer S35. And you will need those 112. Panzer Granat 39, because you will need more shots to kill something, because you do have slightly lower standard shell damage, but you do have better DPM because of your fast fire rate, but you will penetrate with less of those shots because you don't have as good penetration. So yeah, and then you've of course got all of your regular stuff with croissant. I think oh no, it's strong coffee, but it has a croissant because La France. Now, for your crew, you have a crew of 3 as per the Panzer S35. And so, your commander doubles as a gunner plus a loader. For some reason, it needs to have 2 loaders. Don't ask me why. For a 47mm gun, 2 loaders is a bit OP. But skills, commander, you'll obviously want to get 6th sense. Then I always like going Deadeye. Then don't bother with any of the loader skills because you are because you are the same as a triple crew member. So you may want to go possibly armourer. Yeah, maybe not. Designated target. Yeah. Snapshot. Yeah, I don't know. These are all good options. Recon perhaps, if you want to get your range up. Eagle Eye is always useful to see what you've done and how badly damaged the enemy vehicle is. What critical damage has been happening to him. So yes, your commander, gunner, and loader. Your driver luckily only has to do one job, which is drive the tank. He doesn't have to worry about loading. So clutch braking, because you do have 2 degrees, I think it was, less traverse speed. Yeah, 2 degrees less traverse speed. So yes, possibly clutch braking. Smooth ride. Actually, no. Off-road driving would be a better choice than smooth ride. Controlled impact. Yeah, you have fairly good armor, so ramming may be a viable option. It just depends on getting up to your 45 kilometers an hour top speed limit. Smooth ride, perhaps. Not going to be very accurate though in the first place, though. So maybe hold off the smooth ride. Preventive maintenance, of course, if you keep getting set on fire, then yes, preventive maintenance always, going to be useful to you. And then, of course, you got your common perks and skills. Radio operator loader, because 2 loaders, because why not? Cause la France. So you got your regular loader stuff. Safe stowage, maybe. Adrenaline rush, always a good option. If you're getting into the thick of the action like you should be, doing some damage and you're on low health, then yep, adrenaline rush will be useful for dealing more of that damage. Intuition, well, you may want to carry a stock of APCR because your 45mm tier 3 gun is not going to do that much against tier 5s or some of the more heavily armoured tier 4s. So maybe intuition. Radio operator, as you all know, I just don't really care for the radio operators things other than situational awareness. That's like the only thing that I find really useful to extend your view range. But then of course I don't really know what point the radio is. Other than to, of course, it's for the minimap. You can see, because sometimes your allies will drop off the radar if you go too far away, so obvious. But yeah, so relay. You do have 710 signal range with your top engine, so relay. Top engine, what am I saying? With your top radio. So yes, relaying possibly. Signal boosting as well, possibly. Then you got your common perks as well. I decided to get the Somua because I wanted to compare it against the Panzer S35, because when I got the Panzer S35, after a while I was just like, I want to see how this compares to the actual French Somua, and then I was just like, oh, it's not in the game. Wargaming? Why have you not put the actual French one in before the captured German one? What is this? So yes, I instantly just went Somua, because the way these new French tanks are in the tech tree line, they're not like a new line. They're not like let's show the British. There you go, I'm already on the British. See, yeah, they're not like, you see, the new British tanks when they were introduced, they were literally a line of their own. They were just dun 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 like that. However, these new French vehicles are all higgledy-piggledy around. Here's the 2 new tier 2s, which then lead to the AMX-38 and then to the AMX-40. The ELC AMX has been, renamed to the AMX ELC BIS. Don't ask me why. So yeah, that's been renamed. But then the new tier 3, 4 and 5 have go from the Hotchkiss to the Somua, to the SARL, to the GR, to the G1R, and then, whoops, didn't mean to do that. And then they then go on to the ARL-44. So as so part of it's there, part of it's over there. As you will notice, the FCM Pack 40 has now disappeared. The CDC is now in the in-game store. But anyway, so yeah, there's the new tier 2s, new tier 3, 4 and 5 up in a different line here, and then all the way over here, then down from the 1390 goes to the AMX-30 and then the AMX-30B. So yeah, they sort of branch off. So it's really weird how Wargaming have laid out these new French tanks. Like they didn't have enough to make a whole new line of their own, which I can understand, because they would have to find a whole 10 new, 9 new French tank, so yeah, I can see why. But yeah, it's just a bit weird, because when I came in I was just like, what, the Somya's here, there's new French tanks, and then there's like, these things are over here, what, I don't, also the AMX ELC, as well as being renamed, it's now got an HD model, so yeah. Now let's finish off this Somya S35. In some ways the Panzer S35 is a slightly better than stock Somya, but not as good as the upgraded one. However, at the same time, they're sort of 50-50. They both have good points and bad points about them, which, if you compare the two, you could make a direct, like, that one's better than that one, but that one's better than that one. You know, that it's not gonna be like, yes, it's better than stock, but yet this is better when fully upgraded. It's sort of mix match of stats. Because let's just do direct compare, okay? 250 hit points, 260. 19 tons, 20 tons. 230 engine, 220 engine. 45 top speed, 37. 38, 40. 47, 40, 35, and then this was 36, 35. So, yeah, it's got less hit points, weighs more, has a slightly more powerful engine, has a higher top speed, turns lower, has better hull armor but worse turret armor, does more damage and penetration but at a lower fire rate, with a higher reload time, has better traverse speed and better radio range but the same view range, so it's sort of like, yeah, okay. But anyway, so yes, I like the Somya because it's, you know, the Panzer S35 does bounce shots. We all know that the Panzer S35 can bounce plenty of shots, so the Somya goes straight to that. It has, if anything, it can bounce better shots. However, I think it gets worse matchmaking, because I think the Panzer S35 leans more to getting tier 3 games than tier 4 and tier 5. At least I think that, because the Somya, after a couple of games just being tier 3, then it was like I was getting into tier 4s and tier 5s for like 5 games in a row, so it's like, alright. And also, I don't understand what this is. Automatically returned crew. I don't know. That's probably for like how you're supposed to use. I don't know. So, Somya, overall, it's a weird tank. I don't really know how to describe it, because I want to relate it to this, but yet at the same time they're completely different. So it's sort of like, yeah, it's the same as the premium Panzer S35, but it goes faster, has better hull armor and better penetration. That's what I'm gonna say. Okay, if you like the Panzer S35, then you will like the Somya S35, because if anything, it is a slightly better Panzer S35. It certainly has a better gun than the Panzer S35 in certain aspects, and it has better hull armor. So, yeah, which is also one thing that I've noticed, one theme with lower tier, or at least this and the B1, is that they have better hull armor than turret armor. Because it's like the B1, it's like a heavy tank, you're just like, whoa, heavy tank, yeah, I have good armor. Yes, you have good hull armor, but you have 46mm of turret armor. Everything's gonna get through that. It sort of defies the point of having a heavy tank armor if you've got a really crap turret. So it's alright. Yeah, so if you are a fan of the Panzer S35, you will be a fan of the Somya. And that's how I'm going to leave it. So thank you all for watching this fairly long-winded Somya S35 review. So thank you all for watching, and goodbye.